Sketchbook tour, the third Sketchbook tour in what I hope will become a half-decent series. I've already got them into a playlist on my page, so I hope you enjoy. I got a set of 3 Moleskins, you can see it there, kind of like embossed at the bottom. I got this set of 3 identical Moleskins almost 10 years ago for my 20th birthday from a girl I was seeing at the time. She bought them for me, and this one in particular I've used for a kind of ongoing project that I've dipped in and out of as and when over the years. Not got very far with it, but I do hope to finish it. Essentially I want to, for each page, draw a drawing for the 50 state capitals of the USA, and there's no real reason for this other than I guess I count as a bit of a America-phile, if you can call it that. How, like, I've heard Americans describe themselves as Anglophiles, so whatever the literal opposite flipped version of that is for being kind of obsessed with, well, for me it's more American geography, but America in general, the USA. Yeah, my primary interest is with the geography of it in the 50 states. I can't profess to know much about anything else other than that, so anyway, I'll get into it. This sketchbook's quite nice. It's pretty thin, it's pretty small, it's very handy. I recently took one on holiday. The pages are kind of thin too, which is a little bit of a shame. But as you'll see, I've kind of drawn on every other page. So I start off with this one. And I mean, I feel like my style is, to my mind anyway, has evolved quite a lot in the last however many years. It didn't start out as this project. I kind of created this project afterwards. So I added NOLA there for New Orleans, Louisiana. Even though the capital is Baton Rouge of Louisiana, I've just realised that. Oh well, I'm going to have to change it. Maybe this first page doesn't count anyway. But yeah, it was just a drawing, whatever came into my head, I suppose. Just a random crazy building that kind of fits into the aesthetic of what my brain enjoys, I suppose. Next, Salt Lake City, Utah. Tried to keep it a little bit on brand and do a salt shaker here. Not that I guess there's the salt flats, there's lots of salt over it. But for some reason a locking key felt appropriate here. I can't really describe my thinking because it was so long ago. I did these first 3 or 4 quite close together, probably in like a month period after my birthday. But yeah, this one I was really pleased with. Santa Fe for New Mexico, I'm gonna say. Is that right? Yeah. Anyway, like a kind of huge boat being dropped into a boat hole. I'm not particularly sure. I feel like as time's gone on, I've learned to draw way more kind of blanked in areas, like coloured in areas, because this to me now looks kind of a bit light and it needs kind of filling in. Like now I would definitely colour it in a lot more black down here and inside the building here, etc. But I've always quite liked building wood and how wood kind of interconnects and is kind of constructed and built onto itself. I think maybe a year or 2 had elapsed between those and this one. I drew Olympia is no rhyme, reason or logic to the drawings linked with the state capitals. Just gonna caveat that with that information. Albany for New York. This one went a bit surreal. I guess inspired by one of my favourite pub quiz trivia facts that there are only 12 helicopter pads in Manhattan, I believe, or New York City centrally. Or maybe all of New York, not the state New York, the whole kind of area of New York. Again, a lot of areas that I would have filled in black now. Quite like this bit actually, with these lines coming down. Oklahoma City for Oklahoma. I think I remember drawing this. I was watching TV at my desk and just looked at the computer and the TV and here we are. Came up with this. I always quite like drawing keyboards, I'm not sure why. And I've definitely discussed drawing eyes before. If you've been watching my channel at all, wires too. I think anything looks a fair bit cooler with wires. So this was a few years on again. Kind of had a break from it, just kind of put the book on my shelf somewhere and forget about it, you know. So this is Providence. You can see it going down the page here for Rhode Island. And maybe this does have some kind of bearing on Providence or Rhode Island, because I know it's not landlocked. So I'm sure there's ports there. I've actually been to Rhode Island. I went to Newport and did see some boats, and so I know I'm not completely crazy. But yeah, I've got these little boats on a beach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, building up to a big ship over here. This is probably my favourite page in this sketchbook so far anyway. It's like a big crane telescope thing. Oh, I know, I forgot I did this. It's holding the O. Nice little touch. As you can see, I'm kind of starting to fill things in with black now, thankfully. Nice full page. I think this might be my second favourite page in this book. Boise, Idaho. Boise, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, I guess it's Boise. I actually met a guy from Boise when I was on holiday a few years ago. Nice guy. He said it was Boise. He also said that everyone from Boise gets sick of Californians driving up to Idaho and Boise and claiming it as their own. But I mean, I don't know anything about it. So I did these kind of big, crazy scrap junkyard trucks, car things with pylons in the background. I was quite pleased with the chain over the wheel here, and I'm actually starting to fill things in with black. So this was a similar era to the Providence page. As you can probably tell how my style had evolved. This was also in that period, and I'm not sure why this might be my least favourite page. Augusta for Maine. Sorry, Maine. It's kind of got a children's party vibe. There's like a treehouse and a tent and like 3 puppets or coconuts and a slide going into the ground, a bicycle, like a conveyor belt going up to this house, like I guess what looks like a bouncy castle. For Augusta, I remember drawing this in a coffee shop. Costa, I think. This is a similar era to that. These two were closer together than the previous two. This was maybe one of the first times I ever thought, you know what, I'm going to fill in a whole area with black pen. And I was really pleased with it. I'm super happy with this drawing. Columbus, Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I've always had a little bit of an affinity for these kind of big sci-fi type nonsensical surreal drawings, of which I fairly recent. There was a long gap between potentially Richmond and Denver, Colorado, because this was probably in the last 2 or 3 years, and it's definitely more evocative of my more current style, or at least my style of a few years ago. Way more filled in, lots more filled in black, and just more of a surreal, weird element to it, almost kind of a skatery feel to it, like a skate brand with the big bits of blood and the way that Denver's written, and the kind of the lines here. These lines remind me a lot of who is it? There's an artist who does this. I'm kind of maybe tooting my own horn here, but I shouldn't. I can't remember. It's a bit kind of Robert Crummy, but not really. A bit kind of Kim Jong-y, possibly. But I can't think just on the ears anyway with these lines. I really can't draw dogs from memory. Look how terrible that is. Anyway, and there's a bloke being eaten. I initially didn't like this, but I actually quite like this now I'm looking at it. The more I've kind of stared into the intricacies of it, even though I did it, I can't remember doing it. I just know it was in the last maybe 3 years. It might have been during lockdown in COVID, I think. I like this a lot. That's interesting. Surprised myself there. This was not too long after the Denver dog, and you probably can't see, but that says Atlanta in the roots of this mushroom for Georgia. Again, really don't know where I went with this one. I think I just wanted to draw something that I'd never drawn before. So I did a mushroom. I might just have watched the kind of mycelium video with Paul Stamets that's on Netflix. The documentary about mushrooms. That's really, really good if you've never seen it. But very different to the other ones, I think. A lot, a very different style. I think this one and the last one is interesting to see how my kind of thought process has evolved with this project. This was also quite recently, but again, I just stopped and forgot to pick it up. In my head, this is going to be a big robot holding a head that isn't drawn very well. I think I rushed this. This is why I left it. I really wasn't. I had the idea, but I just wasn't invested. So I'll have to come back to it. It's a shame that we finish on that one. But again, maybe I'll finish this for a video and upload it. If you have an idea of what state or state capital this should be, put it in the comments. And maybe the first one, I'll do it. But so how many states have we done? I'm not counting the first one because it's incorrect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, well, 11 and a half really. So 48 and a half more to go. That's potentially 48 more videos. But yeah, that was the last one in the book. And that was the door of my little 50 states project. Please let me know in the comments what you think might be a good state to do next, or a good state. If there's a better one for Richmond than this, or a better one for this than Richmond, sorry, or a good one for what state evokes the image of a giant robot carrying a severed head. Let me know. Yeah, I do like that dog. I'm so pleased with that. I think I've made it very clear which one's my favourite. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's a little